Thank you so much for coming to have a video interview with me today.
No problem.
So today I would like to ask you some questions about your experience with dual major, right? So why don't you tell us your name, your major, and your expected date of graduation?
Hi, my name is Brianna George. I'm a double major in Asian Studies and International Affairs, and I plan to graduate in April 2018. Yeah, 2018 next year.
2018, that's next year. Yeah, yeah. So you're double majoring in Asian Studies and International Affairs. So I would like to know what prompted you to pursue a dual major in this combination.
So actually, I was in Asian Studies first,
Okay.
and I didn't think I could handle politics at all. And I took one class for my Asian Studies major called Introduction to East Asian Politics, or I can't remember.
Was that Dr. Mystery? Dr. Moore?
I can't remember her name. She was a great teacher.
Oh, Laura Jenkins, no? No?
She was Taiwanese.
Oh. I'm not sure
International Relations of East Asia.
Really?
That's what the class was,
Okay.
yes. And I fell in love with it. I did good. And I was like, wow, maybe I can do this, that might be an interest. So I decided to, probably about my third year into the major, add it on, and I realized a lot of them overlapped.
Yes,
so I was on track for graduation, and it
yeah.
didn't deter me at all.
That's one great thing about it, that you can double dip. Yeah. So, a course would count for one major and the other major.
Yeah.
And you were in your third year, you said?
Yeah, around third year.
I see, okay. And so the next question I have is, so now that you're almost graduating, right? Now, in retrospect, what was the most rewarding thing about pursuing a double major, and what was the most challenging thing?
Well, you always look at the negative first.
Yeah, okay.
That's just the first thing I think. It was the extra classes outside that. Yes, I'm interested in politics, but a lot of politics won't center around Asia. That is discussed if you do international or introduction to comparative politics. They talk about European countries more than Asian countries. So even though it wasn't my interest, that was the hardest part for me, was to try to maintain doing classes I wasn't as interested in and classes I wanted to be in, and just kind of combine them. So just doing the extra classes outside of Asian Studies, because Asian Studies was my first major. So the good thing about it was a lot of classes did overlap. I didn't have to take as many. It wasn't like doing a whole nother major. It was almost like doing just a few extra classes on the side. But it did. I found out what I like to do and just kind of combined everything. It was really fun.
Okay, and now, this is all of the questions, but now that you mentioned your first love was Asian studies, what got you interested in Asia in the first place?
I have been interested, starting probably with Japan since about 5th grade. I was starting with languages. I heard Japanese singers, and I was like, wow, that sounds really cool. And I'm always attracted to languages first, and then it draws me into the culture, draws me into the food, the television, everything. And I was like, I want to study this country more in depth. And then it started blossoming into other countries of East Asia. So I was like, look at Korea, look at China. There's a lot of Southeast Asia,
It's a large area.
It is a very large area. And it's so interesting because it's very different from the culture that I've been raised up around. And I wanted to explore it.
And also, of course, those like 3 East Asian countries, China, Korea, and Japan, have a lot in common. But at the same time, they're so different.
And that's what I liked about it. You can't just say, oh, I know this, so I know every country. You have to learn something about this country. You have to know a little history. You have to know a little culture, stuff like that. So it was fun.
Great. And so as we were talking about this earlier, my next question is, in what ways do you expect that the dual major would benefit you in your future career?
I think it's going to benefit me because I like so many things, and Asian Studies encompasses so many things, and even international affairs is a little more broad than political science in general.
Oh, okay.
It is it falls under the umbrella of political science,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just really broad. You can talk about security, you can talk about economics, the politics, of course. And it's just, I like a little bit of everything, and I don't know where my career path's going to take me one day, but I do know I feel like I'm prepared to be very flexible for whatever I want to do.
And you said you were interested in doing the JET program one day.
Yeah, I want to do it maybe a year after graduation.
And finally, what would you say to a current or prospective student who is interested in pursuing a double major in Asian studies?
I would say, because college is expensive, check and see if whatever you're looking for overlaps. Because if you really want to do it and it doesn't overlap, go for it. More power to you. Knowledge is power for me. I'm a professional student. But if it does overlap, that's even an A+. That's just kind of, it saves some time. It saves you a little stress, and you get to do things that it just feels like you don't waste your time sometimes. Like
killing two birds with one stone.
Killing two birds with one stone,
yeah, absolutely. And I said this in my other interview with students also, but these days the university is also encouraging students to consider a double major, because that would mean after you're done, that would mean you're that much more diverse, that much more flexible, that much more, marketable, as they say, hireable.
Yeah.
Because that means you have expertise in at least two different fields.
And you know what? As our generation is growing up, I'm seeing back in the day a high school diploma could get you somewhere. Now a college diploma is starting not to get you as many.
I know.
You might need a master's now, but I may need a master's one day if I want to keep with Asian studies. But you know what? Having a double major does make you a little more marketable for yourself as well, too.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
Because even though you're not saying, hey, I went a master's in this subject, hey, I conquered two things.
Right.
Or
minoring.
Yeah, I do have minors, too. So
you do? What's your minor?
Political science is actually my minor.
Okay.
So
then were you allowed to triple dip?
Yeah, a little trip. Because if you're in international affairs, you can have a political science minor. If you're in political science, you get an international affairs minor. You don't have to, but you can. And originally, I was in international business as well, because a lot of them will overlap as well.
Yes.
But unfortunately, it didn't align right. I actually had all my classes scheduled, and something told me to go check my advisor. And I went in there, he's like, you need one more humanities. And I'm like, I can't pay for that. So I was like, no, I'm good.
But really, I've been talking to some students with the double major, and I'm always very impressed by their creativity of mind and their tenacity and their sort of independence. And I think those qualities also came through in this brief interview that I've had. So I really appreciate your time, and thank you so much, Brianna.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.